developing infrastructure, the Rideau Canal, the streetcars, the horse railway, the electric railway. Ottawa Car Company, Ottawa, OC Transpo over the years. Some people probably like the GM Articulated Classic, very interesting. Surprisingly no Orion Icarus, but it's okay. And then we also have some of the old streetcars going downtown. Construction of the line.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Alan Hubley. I'm the councillor for Canada South, but I'm also the chair of the Transit Commission for the City of Ottawa. And before we begin our official ceremony today, I'd like to say a few words. And before I get to those words, I want to be the first to give a great shout out to John Manconi, our city general. I just want to say it's the most relaxed I've seen him in 9 months. So I think everything's going to go well today. Today is one of the most anticipated events in our city's history. It has been a long time coming, and I can see looking out at your faces that you are all as excited as I am that it's finally here. Woohoo, yeah. Thank you. The vision of an east-west light rail system running underneath Ottawa's downtown core began over 10 years ago. After years of planning, discussion, consultation, and construction, we are now at the threshold of a new era in public transportation in Ottawa. Light rail transit will forevermore change the way we get around our city. This is a $2.13 billion project, building a rail system that is stretching where we are now here at Tunney's to Blair Station, east 12.5 kilometers away. The line travels through a 2.5 kilometer long tunnel underneath the downtown core. The system would not have been possible without the assistance from other levels of government who are joining us here today for this celebration. I want to extend my personal thanks to the Government of Canada, the Government of Ontario, for providing essential investment that helped make today a reality. I also want to acknowledge as well the hard work of so many in our city who dedicated so much of their time and effort on this monumental project. This includes staff, not just in the city's Transportation Services Department, but in all departments of the city. It also includes staff from the provincial, the federal governments who collaborated with us, the Rideau Transit Group, also known as RTG, and the many contractors and subcontractors, and the various BIAs and community associations who have all made so many contributions to this project's history. There is also another partner in this project that I would like to acknowledge. The Algonquin Nation was also instrumental in making the construction of this line possible. I would like to acknowledge that Ottawa is located on the unceded Algonquin territory, a people whose ancestors have lived on this territory for a millennium, and whose culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. I would also like to extend my respect to all the First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples, their elders and ancestors for their valuable past and present contributions to this land. It's my pleasure now to welcome the Algonquin Elder and Spiritual Advisor, Albert Dumont, here this morning to offer his blessing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to acknowledge the Eagle River Singers. That was some good singing there you did, and powerful songs. I just want to also say, you know, that the Algonquins were never conquered. Like William Commanda used to say, if we war, show us the terms of surrender, because we never were conquered people. I want to, before I offer words of a blessing and a prayer, though, I'd like to say that the birds are on the move right now. The geese, the songbirds, the blackbirds, and you know one thing about them, they're going to get to where they're going in the best way possible. It's something that they're guided to by Spirit and by Creator. When it comes to human beings, you know, we want to get to our journey to go well too. You know, whether you're in a birch bark canoe, the people, the paddlers in the canoe want the people that are traveling with them to be safe and secure, to be comfortable, and that's the way it's been with the Algonquin people. You know, and it's this is an historic event. I know that, you know, generations and generations from now, this day will be remembered, and I'm very proud to be here as part of that. So I'm going to offer words of prayer and a blessing. This prayer that you're going to hear now is been in this country for thousands of years. It's a prayer from Temagami First Nations, from an elder named Bill Twain, who was a Second World War veteran. Mr. Twain was wounded in the front lines in Europe during the Second World War, defending freedom and democracy. And Mr. Twain, you know, even though Indigenous spirituality was outlawed, kept this prayer alive, you know, and it's still alive today, and this is it. I want to say to that good spirit, Minu Manado, how grateful we are for everything that Creator placed in our homelands that help human beings to live well. We acknowledge and honor every bird, animal, fish, and all the good human beings. We're grateful for all those things in the sky world and all those things that live beneath the surface of the earth. We're grateful too for the bees and all the other insects that help the plants to grow. We're grateful for our medicines and for our ceremonies. We're grateful for our ability to prepare ourselves spiritually for that spirit world that will begin when the short physical life ends. We're grateful for our ability to bring peace and comfort to one another during times of troubles and times of anguish. We ask you now, good Spirit, to bless this day, to bless this trains that will carry the citizens of Ottawa and our visitors to their destinations every day. We ask that the people who are on the train, that they will always feel secure and protected, that they will be treated with dignity. We ask that no matter what color of their skin, whatever their beliefs are, that they will be treated with dignity. We ask these things of you, good Spirit, because of the great respect we have for everything that Creator has made miigwech.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, one and all, on behalf of the City of Ottawa, I would like to welcome you to Tunney's Pasture Transit Station for the official opening and ceremonial ride of the O-Train Confederation Line. My name is Natalie Kahali, and I'll be your Masters of Ceremony today for this momentous occasion. I'm truly honored. Bienvenue, chers invités de marque, à la station de transport en commun Tunney's Pastures pour l'inauguration officielle de la ligne de Confédération de l'eau-train et pour le trajet cérémoniel. Kwe. This would be hello in Algonquin. Thank you, Chair Hubley, and thank you to the Algonquin Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe Elder Albert Dumont for your words this morning and your prayers. Thank you to the Eagle River Singers. Your drumming gave me chills. It's amazing. And the Ottawa Symphony Orchestra for your performance today. I would now like to introduce the individuals here on stage beside me. Joining us to help celebrate this momentous occasion are His Worship Jim Watson, Mayor of the City of Ottawa. Son honneur, Jim Watson, Maire de la Ville d'Ottawa. The Honourable Caroline Mulroney, Minister of Transportation, l'Honorable Caroline Mulroney, Ministre des Transports. Anishinaabe Grand Chief Verna Polson is not here today. Algonquins of Pequanagan First Nation Chief Kirby White Duck. Première Nation Algonquine de Pequanagan Chief Kirby White Duck. And of course our Elder Dumont, as well as Doug Ojik, Band Council Member, Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe. Before we begin, allow me to cover a few housekeeping items. We've invited as many guests as possible to be here today, which means there's not a lot of extra room, so we'd ask that you remain seated during the ceremony. As a result, of course, if you'd like to take photos, you can do that from where you're seated. There will also be some official photographers taking photos, and you'll be receiving a link to download those photos after the ceremony. And because your safety and security is important, I'm going to do a quick run through in the event that we would experience an emergency. So if for some reason an evacuation is required, we ask that you remain calm, gather your belongings, and exit the building. If you're on the stage, you'll be asked to exit on the north side of the station, which is to my right, Yarrow Drive. And so you'll leave through that driveway if you're on this stage up here. And you'll be following your section host to help you. If you're on the south side of the station, you'll be exiting to Scott Street. S'il faut évacuer la station, veuillez rester calme, rassembler vos effets personnels, puis sortir de l'établissement. Les invités situés sur la scène à côté de moi, vous allez aller vers la sortie Yarrow, et les gens d'ici, du côté sud, iront du côté de Scott Street. Nous avons essayé d'inviter le plus grand nombre de personnes possible ce matin, donc je vous demanderai de rester à vos sièges pour prendre des photos, pour permettre que tout le monde puisse bien voir la cérémonie de ce matin. Vous allez recevoir un lien pour télécharger les photos après la célébration. If you'd like to tweet about this wonderful celebration, please do so. The hashtag is #LRTLaunch, hashtag inauguration #TLR. I'll say those again just in case. So hashtag #LRTLaunch and hashtag inauguration OTTLTR. So the section hosts are here to help you today in case you require any support or assistance. So we will be descending to the platform after the show, and I'll give you further instruction when it's time to do that. I'd also like to let you know that there's going to be a lighting show that will include strobing lights and flashing lights. So if you have any sensitivities to these types of lighting, please let your section hosts know. You'll be immersed in the midst of a light show that will be at the finale of the ceremony as we embark on the much anticipated inaugural train ride. To make sure that the lights show up well during daylight, we will be adding some non-toxic, environmentally friendly water-based hazing that will gradually dissipate over time. So shortly after this closing event, we will begin boarding the train. This will be done section by section, and I will be providing you instructions to do that. Les places qui vous ont été attribuées correspondent aujourd'hui à différentes couleurs. Chaque section a plusieurs hôtes. Ces derniers sont facilement repérables grâce à leurs vêtements de couleur. Donc, les sections jaunes, votre hôte a un chandail jaune, les sections vertes, votre hôte a un chandail vert, section ici rouge et bleu, même chose. Donc, ils sont ici pour vous aider et vous guider vers le train. L'événement de ce matin comprend un spectacle de lumière avec projection intense de lumière clignotante. Si vous êtes sensible à ce type d'effet, veuillez aviser votre hôte. Nous allons également produire une brume à base d'eau pour bien voir l'éclairage. Without further ado, I would like to welcome our first speaker. Veuillez vous joindre à moi pour souhaiter la bienvenue à notre maire, Jim Watson.
Hello. Merci beaucoup. It's even sunny out today. It was supposed to be raining. What a great start to LRT in the city of Ottawa. Bienvenue. Welcome. And on behalf of all of my colleagues on the City Council, past and present, I'm thrilled to join all of you today for this historic event, the launch of the Confederation Line LRT. I do also want to acknowledge that we're on the unceded territory of the Algonquin people, and we value our relationship with our surrounding Algonquin communities, Pikwakanagan and Kitigan-Zibi, as well as all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit residents of Ottawa. We have many special guests here with us this morning, and I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your schedule on a Saturday morning to be here to launch the LRT. I want to welcome representatives from our federal and provincial partners who are with us today, notably the Honourable Caroline Mulroney, Minister of Transportation for the province of Ontario. I also want to acknowledge and thank our partners at the federal level. There's something called an election taking place right now, and they are not allowed to have a formal role, but I do want to recognize the Honourable Catherine McKenna, representing the Government of Canada, and the MP for this area for being with us today. Congratulations and welcome to all our partners. And without the financial contribution of the Government of Canada and the Province of Ontario, this project would not have been possible. This goes way beyond party lines, and I want to recognize the governments of Paul Martin, Stephen Harper, Justin Trudeau, Dalton McGuinty, Kathleen Wynne, and Doug Ford for choosing to invest in our vision for a better Ottawa. I also want to acknowledge, and there are so many here, I'm just going to ask them to stand, past and present council members who are from the City of Ottawa. If they could rise up and get a round of applause for these women and men. Congratulations. Thank you very, very much. And in particular, my thanks to Transit Commission Chair Alan Hubley and the previous Chair Stephen Blais. Thank you also to former mayors who are with us today, Jim Durrell, Bob Shirelli, and Larry O'Brien, who advanced the ideas that have led to LRT in our city. We're building on the foundation that you left us, and please, Larry and Bob, stand up, take a bow. We're here because of your work. Thank you. Merci. I also want to thank the members of the 2007 Task Force on Transportation who made many recommendations that steered the design of the LRT to produce the system we're launching today under the leadership of the Honourable David Collinette. David, thank you very much. Where is David? Right there. Merci à vous tous de vos contributions. And I also want to acknowledge our Algonquin partners, Chief Kirby Whiteduck and Douglas Ojic, and of course, Elder Albert Dumont, who are with us on the stage. And also representing us this morning, representing the Algonquins of Ontario, are Lynn Cloutier and Janet Stavinga, and we thank them as well. Thank you. Merci. Our Indigenous partners have contributed so much knowledge and advice to this project, and we thank you for your support throughout the process. To all of you, I say Kichi Miigwech. To City Manager Steve Kanalakis and John Manconi, General Manager of the City's Transportation Services Department, along with our senior staff and members of the project team who have worked very, very hard over many, many years. Your hard work has paid off with this feeling of accomplishment. Thank you to the staff of OC Transpo under your leadership, John and Steve. Bravo. We're also joined by representatives from the Rideau Transit Group, RTG, along with the team from the Rail Construction Program, and many of the workers, the women and men, construction workers, trades and unions, who've contributed hours towards the success of this project without losing any life or limb. This is a brilliant safety record. We thank the men and women who toiled under some tough conditions underground, 40 below. Thank you to the construction workers and the skilled trade workers who have made this day possible. Thank you. Merci. And many of the workers are here along with their union leaders, and we thank them for accepting our invitation. To everyone who has put in many hours in order to make this opening event a special one, particularly to our organizers and our performers, thank you for being part of today's festivities, and Stephanie does such a great job. Thank you to your entire team for putting this event on. I think people will come away very, very impressed. I also want to extend a special welcome to the Name the Train contest winners right behind me here, have joined us this morning. Way to go, kids. From the Gord Downey to the Emily Carr, your creativity knows no bounds, and you too are part of this historic day. In fact, this is an exciting and historic day for all of us in the City of Ottawa. Ladies and gentlemen, the day is finally here. Le grand jour est finalement arrivé, et c'est aujourd'hui, que nous lançons le train léger à Ottawa. The future of transit in Ottawa starts now, as residents and visitors alike will be riding the O-Train Confederation Line and discovering the benefits of this transformative, important project. Today really is the results of years of planning and extremely hard work. I know that it hasn't always been easy for our residents during this construction period, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Ottawa for your patience and understanding. Merci à tous nos résidents pour votre patience à travers ces années de construction. This wait was necessary to deliver this safe, efficient, and sustainable transit system to our city, one that will strengthen Ottawa's position as one of the best places to live in the entire world. And that's what we're launching today. A world-class transit system that will deliver many economic and environmental benefits that will enhance our residents' quality of life. And we're not stopping here. Crews are already hard at work as we've secured the funding in its entirety from the federal and provincial government, and we thank them again, to bring LRT and the benefits of this clean and efficient transit system to more communities farther east, west, and south. And I'm proud that we're laying the groundwork to continue expanding LRT to Canada, Stittsville, and Barrhaven as part of Stage 3. And Minister Mulroney, you know, we'll be coming to visit you, and Minister McKenna as well, because we value the partnership and we know that we need to get to those fast-growing parts of our city. C'est un moment historique et bien excitant dans l'histoire de notre ville, et je suis heureux que vous soyez ici pour célébrer avec nous. I'd like to close on a personal note. Earlier this week, a reporter asked me how I felt about the opening of the new LRT. I said I expected it would be a pretty happy but also an emotional time all at once. I am truly blessed to have the honor of being the mayor of this spectacular city. And for the past 9 years, we have been looking forward to this exact day, the day when the public has the opportunity to ride this incredible system. I am grateful to our political leaders here today and from all 3 levels of government, but also blessed to be working with some incredible public servants like John Manconi, and to the thousands of skilled workers who work tirelessly to deliver us what we're launching today. No one really knows how history will judge this day or how it will be recounted. But I'm sure that in 50 or 100 years from now, residents and transit users alike will be grateful that the people of Ottawa, Ontario, and Canada invested in a system that will ensure our city remains the most livable city in the most blessed country in the world. Again, thank you all for being here today, and thank you to all of the people. I look around this crowd, I wish I could start pointing people out and thanking them individually, but you know the role you played over many, many years to bring this project to fruition. I hope you all enjoy this inaugural ride of the O-Train Confederation Line. All aboard. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Your Worship. Merci, Votre Honneur. Such a proud moment. It's now my pleasure to welcome our next speaker, the Minister of Transportation for the Province of Ontario, la Ministre des Transports de la Province de l'Ontario, the Honourable Caroline Mulroney, to say a few words.
Well, welcome everyone, and merci Nathalie pour cette introduction. On behalf of the Ontario government and our Premier Doug Ford, I want to extend my greetings to everyone here today. Au nom du gouvernement de l'Ontario et du Premier ministre Doug Ford, je tiens à saluer tout le monde ici aujourd'hui. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to welcome my friends and my colleagues from all political parties and all levels of government for being here with us today to mark this historical moment. Since becoming Ontario's Minister of Transportation only a few months ago, I have set a clear goal to invest in transportation to bring relief and new opportunities to transit users and commuters. That is why I am very excited to be here with all of you today to officially open the O-Train Confederation Line. And it's great to be back in my hometown of Ottawa. I grew up here. I remember the rapid transit bus, then came the light rail transit, and now the mayor has informed me that the home in which I spent a few of my childhood years is being condemned. How times are changing. Luckily, the changes that we are here today to celebrate are going to make the lives of transit users in Ottawa, in the Ottawa area, much easier. As the mayor mentioned, the Confederation Line will officially be open for service today at all 13 stations along the line, from Tunney's Pasture Station in the west to Blair Station in the east. This is great news for Ottawa residents. The new O-Train Confederation Line will provide fast, clean, and reliable public transit for commuters in Ottawa and make this city more accessible for both residents and visitors alike. La nouvelle ligne O-Train de la Confédération offrira un transport en commun rapide, propre et fiable aux navetteurs d'Ottawa et rendra cette ville plus accessible aux résidents et aux visiteurs. With trains arriving every 5 minutes or less, the new LRT line is expected to carry up to 10,700 passengers per hour in each direction during weekday peak periods, making it the busiest light rail transit line system in North America. The Government of Ontario has committed up to $600 million towards the O-Train Confederation Line. We're making life easier for the people of Ottawa. Investing in smart transit is just one of the ways that we are doing this. As the mayor said, Ottawa residents deserve a world-class transportation system that gets both them and the economy moving. And today, that is exactly what they are getting. The O-Train Confederation Line will transform the way residents and commuters travel within the city of Ottawa. The new LRT will help get people to work, school, or appointments quickly and conveniently. And just as importantly, help people get back home to their families at the end of the day. We're getting Ontario moving. I look forward to boarding the train for its first inaugural ride to Blair Station and back. J'ai hâte de monter à bord du train pour son premier voyage inaugural jusqu'à la gare de Blair et en revenir. Je vous en remercie. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Mulroney. Merci, Madame la Ministre Mulroney. Mayor Watson and Minister Mulroney, would you please come forward to unveil the commemorative plaque that recognizes the roles of your governments played in the construction of the Confederation Line?
On either side?
Yes. Please hold your places with the plaque for a few official photographs. Merci. Thank you. We are now going to try and get a large panoramic photo of the entire group. So if you could please look at our city photographer and have your big smiles on. Nous allons maintenant prendre une photo de groupe, alors veuillez sourire à la caméra. Thank you. Thank you. And again, these photos will be available for you. You'll receive a link to download them. At this time, I would like to ask everyone, if you can, to please stand and remove any hats for the playing of the national anthem performed by the Ottawa Symphony Orchestra. Je vous prie de vous lever pour l'hymne national. So now is the time to power up the Confederation Line that will immerse you and the audience, all of the members, in sound and light show. Take a moment to look around, experience the sights, sounds, and feelings that will transport you from the past to present and what will now be the modern reality of rail in Ottawa. Mayor Watson and Minister Mulroney, would you please come to the center of the stage and prepare to push the power button. The audience and I will lead you in a countdown. Oh, that's wonderful. OK. Je vous invite maintenant. On va appuyer sur le bouton, mais vous allez attendre notre décompte. We're going to count them down together, everyone. OK. How about we stand for this? Let's stand for this, everyone. It's a big moment. All right, let's ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Powering on. Allumé. Bienvenue à bord.